You're tuned in to Tailgate Talk, where the grill is hot, the drinks are cold, and the sports stories never stop. Hosted by DB Cooper and Itty Bitty Ute, and produced by Hollywood. Grab a plate, pull up a chair, and let's get this tailgate started.
Itty Bitty.
So anyways, I walked up the stairs, took off the panda suit, walked in the door, and said, "Oops, wrong door."
Come on into the Tailgate Talk podcast where the drinks are hot and the food is cold. I'm DB Cooper alongside me, Itty Bitty Ute. Kind of on the ones and twos, but kind of handing over the keys, maybe. We don't know. Hollywood, behind the grill. How are we doing, gentlemen?
So
It's
good,
rivalry
man.
week, baby. I'm jacked.
Holy War Week. It actually means something now. It hasn't for the last 12 years, besides last year, but
It really
last
doesn't
year.
feel like it's meant anything since 2010.
Yeah.
You know, because even last year we were out of it. It's like there was no if we lost. For me, last year sucked how we lost, but going into the game, I was like, if we lose, this is another loss. It didn't really impact how our season was going to turn out by that point. We were done. So this is the first, to me, this is the first Holy War week that's mattered since 2010.
Yeah. And I don't know, I see a lot of people say, "Oh man, I wish it was that last week of the year, like right after Thanksgiving." I don't. I love it here.
I do too.
It's gonna be better ratings. Both teams are healthier. Dr. Chris Hill was on ESPN 700, and he was like, "Look, both teams are gonna be ranked because of this."
Yeah.
And we're gonna drop. Someone's gonna drop games later in the year, and they're not gonna be ranked. So.
I think it's such a stupid argument. Now, if you like that for nostalgia factors, if you like it as the last game of the year for nostalgia factors, that's fine. But make sure that that's your point, that it's purely out of nostalgia. But as a strategic point, I've seen people say, it's just not as nationally relevant of a rivalry as it would be if it was the last week of the year. I mean, Texas-Oklahoma's always been early, and that's just as heated of a rival like that. You know, on the national scale, people respect that rivalry. That's not the last weekend of the season. Like
USC Notre Dame.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like big time college football rivalries happen outside of the final week of the year. There's again, if you want to go to nostalgia, I have no comeback to that. That's fine. But from a strategic standpoint, I think the Big 12 is so smart. This is going to be the highest, most watched Holy War game of all time, and it's not close. Yeah. And if we were going up against Alabama, Auburn this week, and Michigan, Ohio State this week, it would not be the case. It would still probably do great numbers, but it's just smart from the conference.
Yeah, and it's prime time. It's 8:00 Eastern. You're going to get eyes all over the place, and so I like it mid-season because and again, this might go back to me growing up in a BYU household, but even when we rattled off 10, 11, whatever wins in a row, it always seemed like they have the shortest memory. They might be as close to goldfish as possible because as soon as the next year starts, their quarterback is a Heisman runner candidate right off the bat. They're going to beat Utah, and it's not even going to be close. Like, the optimism that fan base has year in and year out is phenomenal, and hats off to them. But now
I agree with that for the majority of the 9-game winning streak. I will say I think the Taysom Hill stuffed at the goal line game where we turned over the ball 6 times, and they saw they had Taysom Hill and Jamal Williams and their big hyped up Ty Detmer offense coordinator. I think that, for my experience, I think that game kind of killed any and all quick Heisman expectations and of like it, we had it. And so that was 2016. So we had from 16 to I'd say 11, where it was really nice, or 21. I mean, where it was really nice, where they were just down in the dumps, and they were honest about it. There was no optimism out of Provo, and it was so nice. It was so nice.
But it's back. It's back. Doesn't matter who it is, dude. It's back.
I've thought about it in this way too, the way that it's back. I remember when we beat them in 2010, last second, Brandon Burton blocked to start it all, the whole streak off. Jake Heaps was, I don't know if he was a true freshman or if he was a redshirt freshman. Don't quote me. I think he was a true freshman, but I could be wrong on that in that game. And he looked pretty dang good, but they lost on the blocked field goal. So then it was the whole offseason of, well, Jake Heaps is coming back and we'll get you then. And then the 54-10 happened, and Jake Heaps is never the same. I do think no matter how we beat them this week, it's going to be, well, our quarterback's a freshman, so we'll get you next year. And it's going to happen quick.
Yeah, or they'll pull we have a 5-star quarterback sitting in our back pocket coming home from his mission in a year or two. They like to move the goalpost, and that's fine.
It's fine.
Whatever.
That's why we love them.
Yeah.
We can't live with them. We can't live without them.
Yeah.
But Holy War Week. Go ahead.
Speaking of love, I think one of the things that we need to talk about, and whether we do that now or later in the podcast, there's been a few people that have taken this rivalry a little too far, and it landed one of the Cougs with some steel bracelets this morning. Well, you saw it on X, the guy who said anybody that I see at Lavelle Edwards Stadium wearing red is dead.
Jesus.
And then doubled down again and said, if I see you, you're going to get shot. I mean, those are just...
The double down, dude.
You can't... Like, the days when we were younger, especially me being an old guy, you used to be able to say that stuff in passing, and there's no record of it. Now, the world that we live in, it's he deleted the app, deleted everything, and was like, no, it wasn't me. Turns out he's had 2 DUIs and is on parole, and not
typical BYU
not
fan.
what you should be, not what you should be
right
saying.
Their average.
Yeah.
Oof.
If you pull 65,000 of them, you're gonna get 60,000, just like that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was insane, man. The posts on X Day have been incredible, where Utah fans are wearing their bulletproof vests down there. I actually got messages from my extended family saying, "Hey, be careful. We saw this on the internet." So it's crazy.
I will say part of me was a little disappointed when he got arrested. I don't take this lightly, but it kind of goes into subject what we were talking about at the tailgate this last week. If I'm going to get this last week, we were talking, getting struck by lightning because there was a lot of lightning. If I'm going to be struck by lightning, I would like it to be at the tailgate or in my seats at Rice Eccles. You can know I died a happy man and no one gets to be sad. So that's great. It's the same thing. If I'm going to get shot, I might as well be shot at a Utah sporting event, and worst case scenario, I become a rallying cry for the team. Like, that's a way that I would definitely want to go out. So I was kind of disappointed.
Hey, just make sure you get one of those 4-day-old cougar tails that they've been baking up.
Those don't look good.
You see that on X?
I think what the good thing about a cougar tail is the maple flavoring, and those are like blue raspberry or something. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how else have we been preparing for Holy War Week, boys?
Yeah, I early on in the week I distracted myself. I had the Bears play on Monday. Had a crazy Tuesday, Wednesday of work, but it was like Wednesday afternoon. It kind of hit me like it's here. So it's a business week. I haven't. No. I actually haven't run my mouth yet on Twitter a whole lot. Obviously, I said some things, but I feel like
there's a lot of week left.
Yeah, there's a lot of week left. But typically, there's more comments. But yeah, just prep for the tailgate and the big game, man.
Tailgate and the big game, love it. Hollywood.
Yeah, so the way I get into rivalry week is I go back on YouTube and watch old games. I think one of the games we talked about early on one of our podcasts, one of the best games that I've ever been to, 2011 in Provo, got invited by a coworker to go down, and I think he he wanted me to go down because he was pretty sure that BYU was going to beat Utah.
Yeah,
and
excited about Jake Heaps.
Yeah, third snap over his head and tries to pick it up and throw it, and he can't even get a grip on the ball, and we score a touchdown. Although it was good to watch it because in my head, it had been so long since I had been there or watched it. I thought Utah got out to a good lead right away, and that game was still in hand late in the third quarter, and then Utah poured it on in the fourth. And so it's always good. And then I watched 2018 today. And so I just like watching the rivalry games and seeing the past, the players that you forget about. And, it's just always good watching and remembering where you were at the games or when you were watching them at home. So that's how I love to get jacked up and watch those games that way.
I'm with you, Hollywood. I've been reminiscing a lot this week on previous games. One of my favorites is a little game in 2005, Utah versus BYU. Don't know if anyone remembers this. Brett Ratliff had a game of his life, and opposite of the game that you mentioned, where we kind of in 11 we kind of started out slow, and then we came on late. This game was the opposite, and we went into halftime in Lavelle Edwards with our backup quarterback up 24-3 at halftime. And I'm sitting there with my buddy Matt, his dad behind me, Big J, and who's listens to every episode. Shout out Big J. Also comments on every video. Shout out Big J. All-time legend. If anybody ever come to the Tailgate, you can meet Big J. He was behind us, and my old man, and me and Matt at halftime. We're 24-3 at halftime. We are popping off. Young little lads. Everyone around us. We weren't in the Utah
Was that
section.
An overtime game?
Wait, I'll get there. So
okay, I think this is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, we're popping off. We're not in the Utah section. We're surrounded by Cougars. Me and young Matt are absolutely going berserk, saying everything. And our two fathers behind us keep saying, "You guys should shut up." They always come back. And we would pop off some more. "You guys should shut up." They always come back. And we pop off some more after the next touchdown. "You guys should shut up." They always come back. It's halftime. We're still popping off. And the whole halftime, our fathers are behind us going, "You guys should shut up." They always come back. Sure as shit. Second half comes out or starts. 21 points in the third quarter from BYU. Another 10 in the fourth. Tied up. And we go into overtime. And the whole second half, Big J and my old man are sitting behind. And they're not even mad at what's happening on the field. They're mad at their two sons that were popping off the whole first half. And they kept saying, "You guys should shut up." And everyone we were popping off to was giving it right back to us. We couldn't do anything. We deserved all of it. And it was so tough. But by Lord, Brett Ratliff got us a touchdown in the top half of the first overtime, the bottom half of the first overtime. I think it might have been 4 and out. Jason Beck lobbed one up, incomplete. When that ball hit the ground and it was final, I had the biggest relief of my life when it went final and Utah won. We were able to pop off one last time. It was an all-time moment. Shout out Big J. I wanted to share that. Shout out young Matt. Great, just a great memory in that stadium, and kind of like the interview you're going to listen to with Father Stu, riding that wave. We were riding that wave. We almost crashed, but we rode it out, and it was a beautiful landing, and that's been heavy on my mind this week. But yeah, so that's what my mind's been all week. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that it means something again. It's fun.
Yeah, it means a lot.
I don't want
man.
it like this way forever, but
no.
For now. And next, we're gonna have two all-time legends, Mojo and Father Stu. Each were gracious enough to give us a couple minutes and share their stories of how they became University of Utah fans. and enjoy the listen and dig right in.
Because we have a real treat. Just an absolute banger of a treat. The one and only Mojo joining us. How we doing, Mojo?
Slayer.
Just happy to be here, guys.
Mojo.
Long time listener. First time speaker, I guess. Long time coming. My little bit of my background. My parents met at BYU, got married while they were in college, right there at BYU. So growing up, for the first couple of years, it was all BYU. BYU, like everyone in my family, BYU fans. My dad tells this story. I don't remember this, but we went to a BYU game, and it's probably 2 years before my first Utah game. And BYU got their butts kicked by I think it was Wyoming. It was 53-7 or something. The whole family went. It was just like a nightmare of a game. And he says that we went and tried to go find some of the players, and they totally snubbed us because, I mean, they just got their butts kicked and nothing really happened. And so fast forward 2 years, and DB here calls me up, says he's got an extra ticket. And what do you know? It's Utah versus, guess who? Wyoming. Go to the first game, and I think it was pretty similar score, just that Utah kicked Wyoming's trash. I think it was 53-7. Maybe that's where I got that number. But after the game, first of all, it was a blast. After the game, we go over to the locker room, and we're waiting for players to come out. And what do they have? They got
their post-game KFC.
Yeah, they got KFC and a 6-pack of Coca-Cola. We're asking all for sweatbands and gloves. I got number 63 was on, I think he was the offensive line. I got a sweatband from him, and I got Paris Warren's glove.
That's a good glove to have. Paris Warren.
I still have
it. That's a good name.
I still have it, yeah. And I was hooked ever since then. Next year was the Fiesta Bowl year, and we went to every game, and we had an agenda who we were going to find to go get autographs from. I still have the shirt. I had a shirt that I had signed from everyone from Swoop all the way through to Alex Smith, maybe in a few coaches. I remember Brian Johnson signed it too. Thought it was super lame that he had signed it, because I was like,
yeah, little did you know.
What are we doing here?
Little did you know.
Little did I know, right?
That's crazy.
And, I started there to help convert my family.
And so you feel like after your conversion, it's genuinely rubbed off on the rest of your family. You don't think that they would have ever even come or thought about it, or what? You think that was all you?
How
did you go about it?
Something it wasn't like BYU football or BYU sports was a big thing.
Sure.
It was just something like, oh yeah, we are fans. But I fully believe that me joining the crew, going into Utah football, and then brought everyone else along.
What do you think sparked it that they saw? How did you go about the conversion of the rest of your family?
I mean, it was really just the dedication watching the games.
So an away game.
Clutch, dude.
I know I'm never gonna reach your guys' standards for being there. But I think I've taken every single one of my siblings to a game. We've taken them to tailgates. I've actually traveled with my brother to the Utah Duke Sweet 16 game in 2015.
That's right.
So it's turned into a whole family tradition. When we get together, we start talking about Utah football. I talk with my brothers once a week, and same thing. We're always talking about Utah football and what's happening. So I think it was just constantly showcasing what's so fun about it.
That's sick, dude. I got 2 questions for you, because when DB converted me, there was some hesitation at first. So did you experience that hesitation? I don't know if I want to go to the game because it's the rival. How quick was your conversion? I guess is the question.
Pretty instant, I'd say. I think when you meet a player or you get to interact with the team, and it changes things. I don't think I had any reservations about even going. I think it was like, oh, here's a Utah fan that's inviting me to go for free. Why wouldn't I go?
Yeah.
And so no hesitation. And it was like, I was hooked. I think even I remember DB's dad reaching out and saying, so are you a fan now? Driving, like we were driving home. And like, absolutely, I'm in. I'm all in. As Coach Witt says, all in or in the way. DB really does a good job of showcasing what it means to be a true fan, not to be a fair weather fan. And I'm moving to Arizona and I'm keeping my season tickets. That's what we're talking about. That sort of dedication to the program, to the team.
That is a diehard fan.
Yep.
I mean, to have financial commitment when you're out of state is a diehard fan.
Yep.
And that's just part of the indoctrination. But that's also part of the education with people to bring along is, hey, this is how it is to be a fan.
So what about now? I hear you might be married to a Cougar. Are you worried about facing your wife on Monday?
Yeah, I'm married into a family that they're all BYU fans. So I've got my work cut out for me to get them converted. I gotta make sure she's not listening, but she's definitely gone to a lot more Utah games than BYU games. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I have seen her wear a lot of red. To Morgan's credit, I think anything. During the game though, I believe she's a Cougar, right? But steps. There's steps.
Yeah, we're working towards it. I will say there has been discussion about her watching the game in another room because the rest of the family's going to be watching, all wearing red.
I love that.
She's intense, which I respect.
I do respect that. Yeah.
DB,
you did. How many conversions are you at now? And was Morgan number one, the first conversion?
Mojo, I thought in the timeline, Mojo was one. I think you were right behind him. Itty bitty.
Dang. So how many conversions total?
I don't know. I
know Father Stu.
Stu Father. I'm interested to see what his story is. Crazy.
Well, Mojo, what's your prediction for this week?
Ooh. I'm gonna go 38-17 Utes. And I think those. No, we'll keep it at that.
I love it.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Love it, Mojo. I think that's all we got. Just walk us through, Stu.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Father Stu. It's great. I'm honored to be here. A little bit of background on me. I grew up a BYU fan. My dad would take us to. He would take me to football games all the time. We'd go to basketball games. I remember.
Was that hard?
Well, when I was a kid, I loved it. I thought it was great. Like you get to go to a basketball game, and a lot of the times it was junior jazz tickets were free, so you got to go, and so that was fun. And I was pretty into it up until it was the Max Hall era. It really kind of started, and that was kind of starting to be in high school.
Yeah,
I played high school football. I wasn't great. I'll just say that right now. I wasn't great, but I went to camps and got to see some of these folks. And I went to a BYU camp, and I was just like, this isn't what I grew up thinking BYU is. Like, it kind of smacked me in the face. And maybe it was just the naivete of, BYU's different, BYU's better. And so when I was hearing, the same words that I would hear at other camps and at other places, all of a sudden I'm like, that doesn't seem right? And then, I started, I got a little older, started, getting into, junior, senior year. You start seeing kids graduate, right, that you played ball with, and they start going to college, and they start, you kind of go hang out with them. And yeah, just the scene at BYU was weird. It's just weird is the way I would explain it. It was just one of those things where it's like, what are we doing here, y'all? And so, I was like, all right, I'm going. I went on an LDS mission, and took a beat, kept up on a lot of stuff, and then came back. Got married.
Wait, let me ask. Pause. When you were on your mission, people would ask Utah or BYU. What would you say?
I wouldn't really. People didn't really ask me. I'm going to be real with you. Like that was, yeah. It was one of those things that just
imagine at least one person probably did.
Shitty ass.
Maybe. Yeah. Wait, can you imagine?
If they did, what would your answer have been?
I probably would have said BYU, because my dad was still sending me like BYU updates, and I remember getting an update on 17-year-old phenom Jamal Williams and how just he ran all over Georgia Tech. I remember that in a letter one time. But my dad would send me updates on like the NFL. Like he'd send me updates on it. So like I was just trying to keep my finger on the pulse of it a little bit.
Sure.
You send you a Quest for Perfection shirt?
No, that was way after. I was in high school when that happened.
What did you do with your Quest for Perfection shirt? Just
I never
minor
got
side
one.
off to. No.
I never got one. No, I thought it was weird. And then when they lost, like I just was like, okay, whatever. Like I was kind of
every team. Isn't every team's goal to go 12-0 and go undefeated?
It's
weird.
Well, it quickly churned to Bronco explaining that the Quest for Perfection was more in life and not the results on the field.
It was a very quick turn. It was as soon as they lost.
Yes.
It was as soon as they lost that first game. It was like, wait, hold on.
This is bigger than sports.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Is that when they started paying the faith, family, honor bullshit on the field?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same era.
Yeah. So anyway, I got married. My wife, sister father, Stu. She's great.
Oh, man.
She's
God
great.
bless her soul.
Sounds like an Alabama situation.
Sister father. You got to rock sister father.
She's
Love
great.
sister father.
No.
She's a Ute. She's been a Ute through and through. And when we first got married, we were living in Provo. She was working at the hospital in Provo. And so we lived in this house. DB, you probably remember this. It was on that house. It was this house that lived on the same street as the stadium. And it had
I remember seeing you wearing a BYU shirt.
Yeah, so I would wear BYU because I'm right there.
In the shadows. You're literally
I was in
the shadows.
In the shadows. And we would sell parking,
prime spot.
It's prime.
Clutch.
It's so nice. Anyway,
Smart.
That was 2014. Started doing that. 2015. And 2015 was the Manga Miracle year, where they went into Nebraska and threw the Hail Mary or whatever at the last play of the game. So that was a lot of fun. I was rooting for them then. And then a couple games later, they were, they're kind of doing their thing. But the thing is that that was the year I started really paying attention to the Utes.
Ooh.
And they had a nasty defense that year.
Yeah.
They had a nasty defense.
Nate Orchard.
That was Nate Orchard was on that team.
The mayor.
The mayor was on that team. Paul was on that team. The linebacker Gianni Paul was on that team. He was one of my favorite players. He was a dog, just a freaking dog. Anyway, let's see. Jalen wasn't on that team, was he? No. He was. That was before.
Hunter Dimmick though, and
Hunter Dimmick was on that team. Jared Norse was on that team.
Travis Wilson.
Travis Wilson was on that team.
I know we're talking defense, but Travis Wilson.
Chase Hansen was on that team.
Chase.
Monte Booker.
Booker was on that team. Like they were so fun to watch, and I preferred watching them over BYU. So I started watching Utah.
Naturally.
I mean, naturally, right? They play a solid brand of football.
Yeah.
They play a rock solid brand of football. So that was the year. I'm watching Utah. I'm kind of keeping my eye on BYU. And wouldn't you know it, they end up meeting in the Las Vegas Bowl at the end of the year. And you know what? I found myself rooting for Utah. I couldn't not.
There's no denying it when it happens.
When I was sitting on my couch before the game, and Brett Musburger and Jesse Palmer are talking, and I remember, I literally remember my dad sitting there, who I'd watched 100 football games with before, thousands football games with before,
for sure.
And I had the thought, I can't tell him that I'm rooting for Utah.
Oh man.
I had to, you know, and I had a buddy over. They were, you know, we were rooting for BYU, you know, whatever. But I was rooting for Utah, and that's kind of just when I jumped in. I just jumped in from that point on. I was like, you know what, I'm switching. I love it. I didn't like what BYU was doing. The whole Taysom Hill thing the next year, I was just like, these guys don't know what they're doing. Yeah. They brought Ty Detmer in after that. Like, there was so much stuff that I was just like, BYU doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and why wouldn't I want to watch this type of football?
Right.
And so that's when you know, 10 years ago.
I love it. Have you ever looked back?
Not for 1 second. In fact, the funny thing is once I finally, you know, made the move and like went public with it, I'm like, I'm a Utah fan. It just solidified everything for me. And I'll tell you the other thing that made me change for sure was DB. You were like, this is the thing that I love about Utah and what you guys do is you would invite me to the tailgate all the time. Yeah. You'd have me up. Always welcome. Everybody's welcome. Bring your own drinks, bring your own meat, whatever. But you're always welcome.
Of course.
Naturally.
Did you ever bring salmon?
Yeah.
Never brought salmon. I never threw the salmon out. I'd bring a brats every once in a while. Always have Snickers with me. I always also have Snickers with me.
True.
But what I will say is that I found that some of the things that BYU preached that they were, you know, we're this, you know, we're a family, we you know, we're a community, we want to make sure everybody feels welcome. Not the case in my experience. Yeah, but at Utah, it's the case. At Utah, you're a family. At Utah, you belong. You feel welcome. And you know what the best part is that it shows on the football team.
Yep.
It shows on the football team. There's all walks of life on the football team. But you know what? They're one of the most diverse programs in the nation.
Stu, if you don't mind me interjecting a little bit, it shows on our cheerleading squad.
Cheerleading.
One of my favorite things is when they try to diss us with our homie Ryan from a couple years ago.
He's a goat.
Yep.
He's goat.
And they try to, Cougar fans naturally will pull up his video against USC and they'll try to mock it, and they don't realize that the homie became a legend up on the hill. we don't care. Everyone's like, anyone can be anyone at Utah.
And find me someone that had more passion.
Yeah.
Find me someone that had more passion than him.
At what he did, he's about as good as it got.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the gift that he has where he's like coming up over, they're doing that dance and he's doing that is just, that's epic, man.
I will say you do have a better mustache than him though, Father Stu. I will say that. You
are a top tier mustache.
Yeah.
Stu, really quickly, I want to ask too, when did you go public to your dad? Because that seemed like it might have been a big thing to tell your dad that, like, I'm a Utah fan now.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Or did you just kind of never really bring it up?
No, this is sports fandom, guys. This isn't anything too huge. I just want to start by undertoning that. Like, this is not a big thing. I just, you know what?
I told him to tell my dad.
Dad would croak,
dude. He honestly didn't blame me. He's like, they play a great brand of football. They're a
Good
lot,
for him.
and you know what? The last few years, honestly, he said, I enjoy watching Utah more than I enjoy watching BYU.
Sounds like we need to get your old man Father Stu, old Father Stu,
Grandfather Stu.
grandfather
Yeah,
Stu.
Father Stu's father.
Sounds like we got to get him to a tailgate, and he might be all in.
He'd have a great time. I know.
He might be all in.
Yeah.
Sister father's father-in-law needs to come on.
Yeah.
Come to the tailgate.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No. He'd have a great time.
Did you have like any hesitation though? Like, were you sitting there in that year process or whatever, and you're like, maybe it was just like a weird feeling after drinking too many root beers, or like
No.
what? No.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, I never drink. I don't drink root beer. I'm a Dr. Pepper guy all the way.
Attaboy.
Dilly dilly. Let's go.
Dilly.
Oh, you're drinking. You're drinking root beer tonight. Oh man.
Dude.
But to go back to your question, Biddy, there wasn't like, it wasn't a should I, shouldn't I. It was like, you know what? I'm enjoying the hell out of watching this team, and I'm going to root for them because they are fun. They are a good team to watch. And then 2016 was, I think that was the first year of Snoop. And then it was the the Hollandale trio came that year. And Moss was a beast. He was so fun to watch.
Yep.
And then I never regretted my decision. Never.
That's beautiful.
And it's not just, and here's the thing. Is some people will say, and I've had some people say this, that I just turned coat when BYU's at their lowest. I would argue BYU had a great year in 2015. They had a great year. In fact, they'd been okay in Independence up to that point. Like, there was no reason for me to turn and root for another team just because BYU sucked. BYU did not suck. They lost 3 games, I think, that year. So it wasn't about fair weather fans. It wasn't about any of that. It was just about I enjoyed, 1, watching the football team, 2, enjoying the hell out of some tailgate time with the boys, and then 3, what's better than rooting for the Utes? There's nothing better than rooting for the Utes.
There really is nothing better. He couldn't have said it. God himself couldn't have said it better than himself, Stu. Yeah, I mean, some people will say fair weather fan. I say you just saw the light. Anybody?
I was gonna say now you've turned into one of the faces of Utah, like fandom wise. Like, you have a special appearance every Thursday night. Everyone tunes in to hear your sermons.
Well, talk us through that. How'd that go? How's that going?
It's going great. Honestly, I did not ever think that I would get into something like that. Shout out to Glass Happy. He is great. And him allowing me to. He's a dog. He's a dog. He can go. He can hold his own with anybody.
Yep.
What I would say is just he's been very kind to let me take a couple of minutes and just try and hype up the Ute Nation. So that's all I'm trying to do. It's just I'm a big emotional guy. I love the rah-rah of sports. I think that's one of the funnest things about sports in general, is just getting amped for the game. If you're not riding a wave when there's a wave to be ridden, what are you doing as a fan? I find so many. Fun. It'd be no fun. And frankly, I have some close friends who never want to be wrong. Yeah. And so they literally
stay in the kiddie pool.
They stay right here. They stay right in the middle the whole time. Oh, it's a lot of fun, but this could happen. Oh, right. I don't want to, go and predict something. No,
they're in the kiddie pool watching us on the 30 footers, and we might fall off the top of it and break our necks and crack our back from time to time, but we gave it a ride and it was fun while it lasted.
But do you know what feels incredible?
What's that, Hollywood?
When you call your shot.
There's a lot of things that feel incredible.
When you call your shot.
When you call your shot and it goes the way you said it was going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well float on air.
Yeah.
Because you're not walking anymore. You've got that strut, that stride. I mean,
it was kind of like my take on Dillingham, and it just showed last week. So it felt great.
Well, I'll tell you. Talk about like when the big college football shows come to Salt Lake. Like when McAfee was here and Witch rolled out in a motorcycle. Like I didn't work that day.
No.
I didn't work that day.
Oh.
I didn't miss a second of McAfee's show because it was at the U, and that's what I cared about.
Love it.
And so, yeah.
Great. Stu, appreciate you so much for coming on, sharing your story. Beautiful story. Love to hear it. We definitely want to have you on more than just this one time. I know you got your sermons. Let's work together, figure out a gig that works for both of us and doesn't encroach on the sermons, because I love that for that spot. But I would love something similar on Tailgate Talk. Before we let you go, couple things. Quick score prediction this weekend.
Ooh, in a pick'em league that I'm blessed to be a part of, I'm swinging for the fences this week. Whoever created the pick'em league, I'm not sure exactly who, but whoever did was really smart, because what they did is they did a Utah. They usually do a Utah game and a BYU game, and because they're both playing each other, now you can either double down and swing for the fences, or you can lose 2 points. And I'm swinging for the fences, baby. I got Utes minus 3.5. Probably not the smartest move in the world, because this game is just such a toss-up with all that stuff. But I think it's probably going Utes 34, Utes 38, Cougs 17.
Oh, my goodness.
I love that.
Stamp
that shit.
From
Father approved.
Your mouth to God's ears. Let it be.
I got a direct conduit.
Very last thing, do you have any Jackson tags that have been top of your mind that you would like to share? If not, no worries.
Tag of the week goes to the Indian restaurant that was just down the road.
Love
It hit.
A butter chicken?
It hit. I do the tikka masala. Just spectacular. Just spectacular. Jag of the week. Jag of the week, we're going to go with Sam Levitt.
Sam Levitt. Wow. Do you think he was actually healthy and just didn't want to play?
I don't know, man.
Right.
That was a really interesting thought that you had. That's for dang sure.
This week.
I wouldn't want to play us in the wet, in the rain, because we beat the dog shit out of them, man. That was so fun.
It was beautiful. Loved it.
Father,
love you. Go ahead, Hollywood.
I do have to kiss the ring, because I have been both a jag and a tag from Father Stu's mouth. And it's one thing to go from tag to jag, but luckily I was able to go from jag to tag. And
you
so,
redeemed
listen,
yourself, my man.
I appreciate the love. So,
y'all, I love you guys. Thanks for having me on. Y'all are
we love you, Father Stu.
Love
we're going to have you on many more times to come. Anytime we can get with you, we'd appreciate it. But love you. Thanks for joining.
You know, we lived in California when I was little kid. It was like 96, 95, 96, 97, 98. And we had some family friends play for BYU. And so my whole family was Cougars because we were cheering for these family friends, the Denny's. A lot of them went on to play in the NFL, but there were 3 brothers. And so it was like 10 years of the Denny's playing for BYU. And so we ended up moving to Salt Lake in 98, and we were Cougars. And that's just kind of how it was. I remember going to Rice Eccles for the Holy War as a Cougar in 2000. Utah jumped on us early. It was a pick 6. And I remember looking at my dad like, oh, they came to play. BYU ended up winning the game. And I remember being just super pumped. One of my dad's best friends that he worked with at Hershey's used to play at the U, brought us to the game and housed us. And looking back at that, dude, it's like the Holy War, I would never bring a Cougar to the Holy War. So it was pretty cool that he did that. Fast forward to next year, we start playing Little League football and start playing sports together, me and DB. And him and his dad would just invite me to games. And I had a lot of hesitation because I was a Cougar. And deep down, I was like, I'll never convert. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna put on a face for them, be a good friend, and go to these games, and had a blast. I mean, we were tailgating all day. They were taking me on road trips. And so I probably was kind of like Stu, where I was kind of in between teams, didn't know what I was going to do. And then 2003 came, two guys named Alex Smith and Urban Meyer. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They came to town and
in passing.
In passing, yeah. And I was pretty hooked. Went to every single game that year with you in 2004. We traveled down to the Fiesta Bowl, and I never looked back. So
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think the overarching common denominator for you, Stu, and Mojo all had something similar or the exact same. Going to the games is really what solidifies things. When you go to the games and interact at the tailgates and hang out, that seems to always be the solidifier.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know we were younger. I know that some people that are BYU fans that are listening to this that are our age, probably a little more stubborn. But yeah, just paying attention to Utah, interacting at the tailgates, being social with it, is huge. Also, as a 9-year-old, 8-year-old kid, going down to the field and players handing you gloves and wristbands, and I mean, it doesn't take much from there, So going in the locker room, that was crazy. They let us in the locker room.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah, had it down to a science. Bring a friend. Hope that we're winning late in the fourth quarter. Wait for the rich people in the front row to leave early. Once they leave early, go down, take their seats, and start asking for gloves and wristbands. You'll convert any kid.
Yeah,
that's the playbook.
That's the playbook.
Write it down.
That is the playbook. If you're trying to convert a kid, that's the playbook.
Yeah.
Maybe an adult too. I mean, that's pretty cool as an adult, but
yeah. And then the best part was next week you go to Little League football practice wearing those gloves. They were 3 times the size, but you were wearing them. So it's so sick.
I never paid for a pair of gloves, but I never not practiced with a pair of gloves my entire football life.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I had so many. Beautiful. Love it. Anything else that you guys want to mention or go over?
Predictions.
Good call. We gotta get some predictions. Hollywood, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think both defenses are pretty good. I think the over-under. What is the over-under?
49.5.
Okay, I thought it was 50.
Nothing's moved. Not the line.
I think it's going to stay. I like the under here. I think the most BYU scores is maybe 2 tutties and a couple of field goals. And so I'm thinking 20-26 Utah in a dogfight. So I'm taking Utah to cover. I'm taking the under, but I think it's going to be a close game. I would love to be dead wrong and Utah to just go out and donkey punch the Cougs.
Obviously.
But, it's the rivalry.
I'm somewhere along the lines as you. I would never put money on this game. My heart races enough as it is that I can't put money on it as well. But if I were giving advice, I would stay away from either side. I think 3.5 is crazy. Like it's going to be right there. My prediction, I got 24-21, and I don't know who wins. I think it comes down to a field goal. Whether the field goal gets blocked, missed, or made, I don't know. But that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I would say if you are going to bet, probably the smartest bet is to take BYU and the under in a 6 or 7 point teaser, because guaranteed it's going to be a 1-score touch. It's going to be a 1-score game. And I just don't see both of these teams together scoring more than 56 points.
Yeah. If I wasn't a fan of the game, I would consider the under. I like the under the most. I think both teams are going to run the ball. I think the clock's going to be moving.
The problem is we win 49-20 and we're pissed with the under.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm not touching it as a fan.
Look, it's been known. Mojo said this. DB said this. I've been negative the last 4 years, especially. My whole life. We win a game. I look at the negatives, kind of like how could we get better?
It was the last 2 years that was extreme.
Yeah, I worked at the U. I saw behind the scenes. It kind of ruined me. I'm coming out of it.
Saw how the sausage was made.
Didn't like a lot of things. It correlated to how I was successful at my job. So it was like I couldn't get away from it. It was like not only my job, but it was my hobby. I lived and breathed it. Even though I still live and breathe it, just it's a fan now. I've been sick all week, or at least since Wednesday about this game. I've been up and down. We win by 2 scores, though.
Jeez.
We fucking do it! 38-20, Utah rides high. They're out late fourth quarter. They score one late to even put it at 20. We're up 3-4 scores. We're running away. Bear Bachmeier sucks.
Oh.
Freshman quarterback, he can't throw the fucking ball. Oh. Yeah, he could run a little bit.
Oh.
We got this in the bag, dude. Their defense is banged up. He hasn't seen a defense like ours. We got punched in the mouth by Tech already. They're playing scared. Everyone we played, we blown out. 38-20 with a late score to BYU. We win. And I like that cigar. I like that cigar in the fucking stadium.
Victory cigar.
Listen, I will say this. I do think BYU fans have been trying to say, oh, all the pressure's on Utah. All the pressure's on Utah. That's... I sense a little trepidation from the BYU fans. Do you know? Have you felt that?
I don't know what trepidation means, bro.
Just like a little hesitancy, like false confidence in the game. I just get this. You talk about them and them being 6-0, you'd think they'd have all this confidence, and it almost feels like a false hope. Like they are saying they're confident, but they're not. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know, itty bitty. That got me fucking hyped up. That prediction. I'm hyped as hell, and I don't know. I don't have anything else, any way to top that prediction, other than UTAH UTAH fight. I love it. I'm ready. That song gets me fired up more than Utah Man, by the way. I love it when our band plays it. Ooh. We gotta get that song going a lot at the tailgate this week.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that,
going a lot.
Tell us what's going on at the tailgate.
Really quickly, while I'm thinking of that, we do a lot of Let's Go Utah. I love Let's Go Utah, but it's kind of generic. Can we start a thing as this podcast and our listeners maybe doing a lot of the UT? I think you can do that without the band, and everyone catch on. UTAH fight. You just do that walking down the street into the stadium. You do that going up to your seats inside the stadium. People catch on. People do it with you. UTAH fight. I think that's way sicker than Let's Go Utah. So if you're listening, let's try to get that going this weekend.
Yep.
I think that'll get under their skins. As far as the tailgate goes, I tweeted out today, bookmark the tweet because I'm going to be responding to the tweet on Saturday. Tailgate starts at 7 a.m. on Saturday in Provo. Location to be announced at 7 a.m. It starts at 7 a.m. It'll go until 4:30. We'll clean up and be done at 4:30 p.m. But go to my Twitter, bookmark the tweet. I'll send out the location at 7 a.m. Bring your own beverage. Bring your own meat. We'll have a grill. We'll have a TV. We'll have cornhole, and most importantly, we'll have positive vibes. But as long as you bring those two things, it'll be all good. If you can, bring a chair. Might not hurt. But regardless, show up. Ute or Cougar or anything in between. This is not just a Utah football tailgate. Just like as you heard of these stories, our tailgate accepts everyone. Utes, Cougars, anyone alike. Everyone's welcome to come in and enjoy the vibes. We're there to enjoy college football at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll send Holly a picture to post, but we've had a good time in Provo at these tailgates. We've painted the town red a lot.
This will be the biggest tailgate in Provo. This will be the biggest tailgate in Provo. As far as people.
DB will be on the DJ, and he doesn't miss on these kind of games.
Do not.
So usually we do Utah Man or something like that every hour on the hour until kickoff. But yeah, please come by. I think Bartle and Glass announced ours on their space in their live show. I did send them the pin, so hopefully they didn't drop that quite yet. But yeah.
Be great. Anyone and everyone show up, and let's make this the biggest tailgate in Provo. Yeah, you said 8 a.m. The tailgate starts at 7 a.m. We'll all three be there by 6:30 a.m. and it'll all be set up by 7.
Yeah.
It's a tailgate talk. Tailgate.
Anything to add, Holly?
Nothing. I'm jacked. Hey. I wish it was tomorrow.
Hey,
only less than 48 hours. Let's go, baby.
Again, appreciate the followers. We've had a lot of shout outs this last week. So keep listening. We appreciate it. It makes it a little fun for us. So
we're nothing without the followers. Hope to meet a lot of you this Saturday down in Provo. Love you, and most importantly, go Utes.
Go Utes.
That's it for this episode of Tailgate Talk, hosted by DB Cooper and Itty Bitty Ute, produced by Hollywood. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your tailgate crew. Join us next time for more sports talk, food, and fun. Until next time, keep the grill hot and the stories hotter.